So welcoming Bella and Snowball. So Snowball is Bella's gorgeous little dog who's constantly having a little mooch around the flat, making sure, oh, there she is.
Hi, Snowball.
Hey, you.
Hi, Snowball.
Oh,
She's ready.
she is ready. So you ready too, Bella?
I'm ready.
So we're going to get started. So basically, as always, every time I do these interviews, I always start out by going, it's been a while, but we're back. So I met the gorgeous Bella and Snowball a few weeks ago back in our little shared courtyard here in London, and got chatting to this beautiful person and decided she is so interesting, so inspirational. So not only did I want to know more about her, and Snowball too, but I reckon if I want to know more about her, then others will do too. And so it is a great honor and a great joy to welcome you here into the sofa corner today. And really, as much as I want to start all the way at the beginning, I also know that you are a human being with other commitments. So we're just going to jump into the part that I think is a good starting point. So what do I know about you right now? So far, I know that you trained as a lawyer, correct?
Yes.
And then when you finished your amazing lawyer training, you decided you wanted to do life slightly differently, right?
So I graduated from law school. I never fully trained as a lawyer.
Fine. That's fine. Okay. And but still, like, I remember the point where you were like, so everyone else was going to go straight into like the procession of being graduating from law school, and then you go straight into, I guess, a law firm, and you're becoming an apprentice. You would have been an apprentice at the law firm, correct? Mm-hmm. But you decided to do life differently, right?
I did.
So how about we start from there?
Well, essentially when do I talk to you with a camera?
Doesn't matter. You can flip between the two. Hello.
Hi.
Huh. You can look at me, you can look at the camera.
This is my first podcast.
Exactly. Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh my God. Cheers and sparkling water. Oh, this is such a joy. Yay. Oh, great. Doesn't matter where you're looking. We're just all happy to have you. So you graduated law school, and then?
So during my time in law school, I found that I wasn't really finding my work satisfying. And I also noticed that the people who were getting these internships and training, they essentially had this personality type where they would kind of morph into different people. And I just thought, that's weird, because then you never actually know who you're dealing with.
Right.
Because how can you trust someone who's altering their perception just to get something that they want out of you?
Yeah.
And then I also felt bad for the future of law in that moment, but that's a story for another day.
It is.
So I started looking at my skill set, and I began to wonder, what can I do with my chosen skill set? And this was around the time that the show Selling Sunsets, the first season, came out.
Selling Sunsets. Okay, yeah.
Before it went a little bit nuts.
Okay, I don't know about that show, but I will research later. Let's not detour, because otherwise we will have the longest episode ever. So anyway, before this show, Selling Sunset, came out. Okay.
So it was at that time where it came out, and my mom just said, "You're cute. Do real estate like your cousins." That was like her exact sentence, and I was like, you know what? That would fit into my plans.
Right.
So I did my due diligence, and I started applying to some real estate companies, and I found one. However, I have to censor this part of the story because they paid me a lot of money not to say things.
Okay, understood.
But essentially, after having left the company in ways that I'm not legally allowed to say, feel free to toss that in, it's funny.
It is funny, we'll keep it.
And I said, you know what? I have to believe in myself. So I started my own company. And before, it was just a company where I simply facilitated introductions. But then Parliament issued, it wasn't a law, but Parliament often has discussions, and they'll publish their discussions. And in this country, even though real estate's kind of like a Wild West Cowboys territory, there are certain regulations that need to be applied to. And something that they specifically mentioned was that introducers would be counting as an estate agent, meaning that even though you are an introducer, if you're doing estate agency work, that means you have to comply with estate agency laws. So I decided to essentially re-up my company, get all the all the compliances in place. Yeah. Because I often found that one of the issues in real estate, that one of the reasons why people don't trust agents, is because they're sometimes working with people who aren't regulated. So there's no one to hold them accountable. So for example, if you work with my company, Chutzpah Property Connect.
Let's say that even slower. What is your company called now?
Chutzpah Property Connect.
Okay, very cool. Got you. Yes.
Essentially, we have a property property redress scheme, which is a requirement for all estate agencies. But not many people do this, and as a result, because you don't have this, you don't have all the other levels of compliances. Meaning that if you have an issue, you can't hold the person accountable.
Yeah. Got you. Yeah.
And another reason why real estate actually needs all these regulations is because it's one of the highest ways to money launder into this country.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. This episode is taking a whole lot of direction than what I was thinking we were going down. I was thinking we're getting to the female empowerment, but let's continue. I'm intrigued, Bella. Okay. So you created your own company.
Yes.
Amazing. And how long have you been doing that for now? I know you started one and then changed the company.
So originally the first company lasted a year. So, but when bear in mind, I only graduated in 2022.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. But I restarted in January of this year.
Yeah.
So I guess we've been going for roughly 10 months.
Amazing.
Give or take a few days.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Okay. And as well as having this real estate company, I know you also do stand-up comedy.
Yes, I do.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well,
and how did that go about? Like, how did it come about? That's it.
I think that I'm a big believer that the universe is going to constantly give you signs and sometimes even shove you through the door in order for you to get the hint.
I love that. Yeah, that is, oh my God, that is so true. 100%. So, okay, tell us about some of those subtle signs and the bigger signs and the really dramatic signs.
So I think one of the subtle signs was that when I was younger, and of course, obviously being raised by my parents, or rather my mother in particular.
And actually, let's hold it right there for a moment, because I remember the first time I met you, I was like, where is this goddess from? Because if you're listening to this as a podcast, you can't see. If you're on a video with us right now, you can see. Bella is a very beautiful woman. So Bella is a your name is so appropriate. But I was like, where is she from? So tell us where you're from.
Venus.
Got you. Yes.
But my mother, since I was born on Venus, is a Brazilian Italian Jew, and my father's Indian and Arab.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so beautiful mix. And now back to where were we at? Did you lose track?
Oh yes,
as well?
the big signs.
The big signs, the small signs, the big signs. The universe, you were saying, the universe has this tendency to always kind of like knock you on your head, give you a little sign, sometimes a big sign, until you kind of like get punted into the right route you're supposed to be on. And we were talking about stand-up. There we go. Got you.
So essentially, one of the smaller signs was that when I was a kid, I actually really loved watching stand-up comedy. I think my first memories of watching stand-up comedy was with this stand-up called Lisa Lampanelli. And I'm not sure if I can say this on your podcast. Feel free to bleep this out.
No, we're good.
But essentially, the joke that I remember, and I just remember it being so iconic, was her describing the perfect penis.
Oh, wow.
And how...
Even Snowball is like, no, I'm listening. Snowball just raised her head and she was like, yes. That is wrong, Snowball, no.
Please don't let this be a reflection of my parenting. But it was essentially discussing the perfect penis and how the perfect penis is behind a red velvet rope, and this was her partner's penis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
weird and wonderful, yes, okay. For some reason, that spoke to you.
For some reason, that spoke to me.
But you know, the universe speaks to us in a myriad of mysterious ways, right? So.
And I want to point out, I think I was maybe between the ages of 10 to 12 years old, and I hadn't even seen one yet.
Yeah, no, got you, yes.
Just to make that abundantly clear. And the other one was Wanda Sykes talking about if Barack Obama wins, she's going to carry 2 watermelons. Wanda Sykes is a black comedian, and hence like if we have a black president, she can show off more of her blackness.
Oh, no way.
That was my takeaway from that.
Okay.
That was what I vividly grasped and remembered too.
Oh, wow.
That and her joke, if you're dancing around and you happen to be ethnic or brown, you can't do that in a white neighborhood because the white people are looking at you.
Okay, got you. But as much as, because I'm sitting here, I'm trying to relate, because I'm like, I can see it's funny, but what within you went, if they can do that, I want to do that, or what made you want to do that?
So I think the massive turning points will probably fall down into either these 2 or 3 micro stories.
Yeah, I love the micro stories. But during those moments, did you have like aha moments where you were like, if they can do that, I want to do that, or whatever I'm feeling, if they can provoke that state within me, because I had that many times in my life, where I would go and see someone, I would go and watch someone, or I would just be in a space where the teacher or the person on stage or whatever, they would put us all as an audience into a state where I was like, I feel so good, and I was like, whatever it is they're doing, whatever magic is happening right now, I want to be that magician one day. Not as an ego thing, but as in what I'm feeling right now feels so amazing, and I want to be able to provide that service and that experience to someone else. Is that something you can relate to?
I'm not sure if it was like
what
that.
was it for you?
It was almost, I can only just describe it as I'm being yelled at. By the
Wow,
universe.
okay.
So constantly my mom throughout my weekends when that was what I was talking about in my story before.
Yeah.
How my mother would say that her weekends are always full of laughter, and how her jaws would, I think it's a jaw, this thing.
Yeah,
her
the jaw. Yeah.
would smile from too much.
Oh.
And I remember when I was in college, I remember just crying over this guy, and he brought this new girl to the Shabbat dinner.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be there. My friend pressured me to go for, and I quote, save face. So I did what any girl at 19 illegally would have done in the United States. Don't do what I did, girls, ladies. But I got really drunk, and then I wandered in the flat that I was in. And I found one of my best friends. I'm not sure if I can mention her name. We'll call her A.
Yeah, call her A.
And essentially, I just started ranting. And she's cracking up.
Okay.
I'm like, why are you laughing? She goes, this is funny.
Oh God. Oh God. You're like, I'm spilling my heart out. I'm like pouring my soul, and you're laughing your heart out. Okay. Yeah.
And then she tells me you should go into stand-up comedy. And I was just, and then after that, kind of forgot about it for a bit. And it's every time we would talk, she would tell me, you should go into stand-up. You should go into stand-up. And now I'm going to tell one micro story that's going to make the next story make sense.
Love it. Makes sense.
Okay. So that happened when I was 19. Flash forward to when I'm then probably a month after turning 26. I just had this little breakup with this guy. And I did whatever.
By the way, can we just like pause there and go, is a breakup ever a little breakup? I would love to have like a little breakup. Just one where the heart goes, ah, but the heart doesn't go, oh. So you're like, I have this little breakup. I'm like, who the fuck? Sorry, who has micro breakups? But anyway, back to your story. So I didn't want to take anything away. I'm just sitting here like being like randomly envious of having a micro heartache, not like a massive one. But anyway, yeah, go on.
So essentially, I had my little breakup. And
Was it like a,
I was kind of just like, next one?
oh, okay, yeah, okay, moving along.
Move it along.
Okay.
I love how
Not you, Snowball, you can stay. You're staying, babe.
she knows where the camera is at all times. So essentially, I downloaded Hinge, and it was late at night. Not super late, where it was like, oh my god, you shouldn't be going out. But I think it was maybe the Easter weekend, Good Friday, that one. And essentially, it's late. We matched with this guy. We discussed. I see based on our profile that we had shared values, and we thought, oh, turns out we live less than a mile away. Let's just meet up very casually at a bar. And it was a bar in the Raven Tower Bridge, oh, right across away. And essentially, when I was there and I'm speaking to this guy, I just realized I deserve better.
Yes.
And I said, thank you for coming out, but I don't think this is going to work. And I went to go shake his hand, and it was the moistest thing. Yes, I said moist. Moist. Ooh. And I was so grossed out that I turned around and I saw a flyer that said free stand-up comedy on Thursday. This is all going to be relevant, I swear.
No, it's making sense.
And
the dots are connecting.
And the thing is, like, I just remember stopping. I was fully disgusted. Kind of like, do you remember as a kid, maybe you did this project where you would put your hand in a box and they would have you guess what's inside the box?
Oh my god, I did that yesterday at the Science Museum, only I did not want to put my hand into that box. My partner kept going, do it, and I was like, no, I don't know what's in that box. This is scary territory.
So I was in that precise state. I'm touching the spaghetti bolognese with my hand. Oof. And then I see that, and it's like, I fully absorbed it for a minute, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
And then I kept telling myself, oh, you know what, I'll do it. And then about a year goes by. And my friend A, she had some things that were beyond her control. And in my mind, I thought we fell out of the friendship. But turns out her life just got chaotic for other reasons that had nothing to do with us. And essentially things were imposed upon her that were beyond her control. And she posted a picture on Instagram of the lovely, this iconic London landmark. And essentially, I just remember saying, wow, I saw that, and said, that's so close to me. You're so, wow, we have to meet up. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then we start messaging. Turns out her hotel is less than half a mile away. It's just over this landmark.
Got you.
Can I say the landmark?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah, the iconic London Bridge.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And backwards. So I said, let's meet up. Her hotel is right next to this landmark, which is very close. And we just ended up bonding and we're laughing. And I gave her like a Bella jump hug, where if safety parameters allow, I will kind of jump the person.
I'm having all sorts of weird and wonderful images, but it's all good. Okay, so Bella is not that tall. Bella is quite petite. You are a lot of things, but you are not a giant. Okay, so that makes sense. So Bella jump hug.
Bella jump hug, yeah.
Okay, great.
A Bella hug, if you will.
A Bella hug, yes.
So essentially, she's by the sofa. I Bella jump hug her. She's skinny and tiny. She goes down. If
Oh,
I
God.
didn't jump hug you, you would have gone down. You have to think about the surroundings.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, physics, yes, it's a thing. Okay.
With my guy friends, and I mean, this is like if I don't see them for a long time because we all live at a distance, they can catch me.
Exactly.
My tiny friends, such as you, can't. You seem very strong. I wouldn't doubt it, but I feel like in small spaces.
Yeah. And a spontaneous Bella jump hug. I might, without my strong Josie defensive art, we don't know what would happen. Yeah, got you. Okay, so you jump hug her.
I jump hug her, and then I gave her kind of like a mini tour of all the spots in London that I love so much, and I'm making her laugh really hard. And then she goes, Bella, and she sits me down. She goes, we're at this other really cute pub that's ironically near this pub where they have free stand-up comedy.
And where is that?
The Raven Tower Bridge, Sam Rhodes Comedy Explosion. Here's your free PR, Sam. Sam is a lovely comedian. Go watch him.
What road is it on again?
Oh, his name is Sam Rhodes.
Understood, but what road is it on? Do we know?
Tower Bridge Road?
Tower Bridge Road. Is it literally just there?
Yeah.
No way. Oh my god. I love stand-up comedy and I've never known.
See, the thing is, it was literally, when I tell you this was yelling at me. It was
I'm not screaming. That's hilarious. Oh, isn't that so funny? It's just always like that. It's just honestly always like that. Like you said, it's like the thing you long for is also longing for you. There's no way you can.
It's longing for me. That's how I can describe it.
That there's no way you can miss what is for you. It's just coming to you and through you and at you, and at some point you're gonna bump into it. Literally, sometimes it will happen via like a Bella jump up. But, okay, so anyway, now that I realize the stand-up is literally right next to where we are currently habitating. So anyway, okay, so there you are with your friend.
And she's very serious about it. And the thing is, what I didn't know was that, actually I did know this. This was just like it's a file in her big box. In my mind memory. Yeah. And she tells me, Bella, I used to work at stand-up comedy clubs. You have what it takes to be famous.
And not just famous, but funny. Funny and famous.
Thank you. She's like, I can see you doing this. I can see you like commanding the stage.
Yeah.
And, like, having people like fall to your feet. And I was like, you really think so? And she was like, yeah. And then I remembered, very ironically, when I turned 21, my mom took us to a stand-up comedy show.
Yeah.
As if there were any more hints.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. So all of a sudden, your whole memory bank was like, do you remember? And it's like the past just came like flushing in. It's like the past is standing right there next to your eyeline. Yeah, I know those moments.
Interestingly enough, we brought up when we had first met, and she goes, Bella, you didn't show up drunk 19 to my room. You brought me food. I was like, I was polite enough to bring you food?
Yeah, right? You're like, was that me? That was a great version of Bella. I love that version.
I like her version.
Yeah, exactly. That version is great.
You're telling me I'm wandering drunk, upset, and I still managed to bring you food?
But remember, hey, Bella, what I know about you, remember last time I saw you, and again, I don't know how much you want to talk about, this is a personal thing, but you had a little upset experience, right? When we met for tea, and like, had it been me, I literally was like, I would have been like running out, like, pulling, pushing, like braking, like the coffee shop would have been a mess because I would have been like, get my ass out of here ASAP because this is about me and I need to make sure I'm okay. And I was like, you're the most polite, dramatic person I've ever met. Like Bella stands up and she's like, can I pay? And I'm like, what the fuck? Run, you need to sort yourself out. So, yeah, so it makes sense to me that you would be that person that's like heartbroken and drunk and still remembers to like list of priorities. I'm heartbroken, I'm drunk, but must bring the warrior woman that I am, must bring up and serve the friend number A her food. So
Number A,
it just makes sense, exactly. So for me it makes complete sense.
Oh, thank you.
No way.
That makes me cry a little.
Yeah, no, oh babe.
But bear in mind, between me meeting her again the second time, I think last time I saw her, I was probably 21 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing her again at 26. So 4 years have properly gone by now. And this was
even
I was
5.
turning, even 5. Because I was turning 27.
Yeah, got you.
And essentially we start discussing this. And I said, you know what? Fine, I'm going to do this.
Woof!
And this was
I don't know why. So Danish, just a snowball. I will totally blame that expression, that sound is Snowball's fault. You don't notice, but in Danish, woof is like, what's the sound that you, how does a dog make a sound in British? Is it bow wow?
Snowball kind of goes, "Roar."
Okay, but you know what I mean, like according to textbook, like, like for kids.
Ruff, ruff.
It's a woof woof, right? Something like that. In Danish, it's actually woof. And I don't know why that, like, I don't think in my entire life I've ever made the sound woof at someone where I wanted to say wow, but I'm obviously like greatly affected by the Snowball, gorgeous Snowball, little dog energy here. So anyway, I'm sorry, I don't want to take away from your story. I just was like, this has to be commented because why am I sitting here going woof? This is how Snowball is like, yeah. It's just like, you are totally intruding on my domain, Josie. Anyway, back to you, Bella, so I'm sorry.
No worries. Yes, so I said, okay, now this was back in January, and essentially by this time, because she had come in, I had canceled plans for my boyfriend at the time to come over. And I essentially hadn't seen in a while, I had gotten sick, something happened with his plans. But essentially that led to our breakup.
Was that the small breakup or the big?
Oh no, this was someone else.
Oh, okay.
Minor tissues. You can just buy more in stock.
Understood. Perfect. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming, yeah.
Okay.
And essentially...
Keep them coming.
Just invest in good quality stocks. Get ones with aloe vera for your nose.
Yeah.
So essentially, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And then I didn't do anything about it. Bear in mind, I met her in January. I said I was going to do this. Then for my birthday, I'm born on March 21st, if anyone wants to send me presents.
Absolutely. And you're just the opposite of me. Like, you're 2-1 and I'm 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
High five. Yes.
Oh, that was weak. Maybe.
No. Do it. Snowball. Boop. Like, woof. Oh my god, she's actually like doing it. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, Snowball. Okay, anyway, sorry, back to you.
So, for my birthday, what I wanted to do was go to Whitstable. Now, Whitstable is this amazing little town. I wouldn't call it necessarily witchy, but it has like this coastal, warm feel that's very mystical. That's a good way to phrase it. And I
mixed in with British weather. I'm sorry, I had to say that. I was like, I'm loving like you're sounding, you think it sounds so romantic, and I'm like, oh my god, I was freezing cold when I was there last. But anyway,
it was freezing cold.
But it's still really cute and magical, and you're right. Yes.
And I just wanted to collect stones and eat oysters. And when I got back home, essentially, I was supposed to take the underground. But then I felt, you know what? The underground is gross. I just want to sit on a bus.
And it ruins your hair.
It does.
This was like word of wisdom. I learned so much from you in those 2.5 hours that we met up last week or 2 weeks ago. One of which was the tube ruins your hair, Josie. And I was like, oh, I've had 23 years of ruined hair. How can I make up for this? Yeah.
So essentially, I'll get back to my story,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
I call it tube hair because the tube is very humid and your hair should not be exposed to that humidity. Your hair has little pores in it, and when that humidity enters, your pores open up and it absorbs all of that nasty, disgusting stuff.
Oh my god, that is so true.
Mm-hmm. Tube hair. Anyways, back to the story, and essentially I decided to take the bus. And what does this bus do? Because I missed the other bus that was supposed to take me to this one street. It takes me right in front of the pub that had stand-up comedy.
Can I ask, did this feel like a small sign or a big sign?
Big sign.
Big sign!
I literally got delivered to the door.
100%. It was like, if the universe could just like scoop you up and like clunk you down, which is what it did, like that would be it. No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that. So basically the bus you were supposed to be on didn't take you, but instead you got on a different bus that was like, hey, you're coming with us. Wow, you will be where you need to be when you need to be there. Wow. Okay.
I'm at the point where I just don't kind of argue. If someone's going to be late, they're going to be late. They show up when they show up.
Yeah, totally.
You can just do Sudoku on your phone, it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
And so I went inside and I just said, hey, how do I do this stand-up comedy thing? And then I can only describe it as the shadiest thing in the world, because I'm not sure if you guys noticed this as a social phenomenon, but I feel like Facebook is, my friend calls it a time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
Because it essentially encapsulates all the things we've done in the past. And
So true.
and we can look at it, but it's not something we actively use anymore.
Mm.
I don't really know who uses Facebook anymore, but I was told to go on Facebook and to find this man called Sam Rhodes.
Okay.
and just to ask. So I essentially said, hi, Sam, I'd like to perform. And he goes, sure.
Oh wow, and you were like, no balloons, no forms to fill out, no nothing, just sure.
Sure. And I remember speaking with one of my talking therapists about this. I forgot what the context was, but I told her once that sometimes I feel like things for me either cult or they're just like,
Yeah.
and I can only describe this as if you can put on a little icon here. It's called the Staples Easy button. So in the States, there's this office supply store called Staples. And one of their slogans back in the day was,
oh my god,
that was easy.
Oh fuck, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna have to like say this because this is so relevant, which is so weird and wonderful. I only heard about Staples yesterday.
What?
So if you don't know, my boyfriend Carl is from America, right? As is Bella as
And
well.
Snowball.
And Snowball too.
She's a California girl.
Oh, so matches my coasters, my little Californian one. Anyway, so yesterday I'm with Carl and we're in the museum and he mentioned something. He's like, yeah, so back when I used to work at Staples, Now I'm standing there with my Danish brain. He says the word Staples. The first thing I see, I'm like, oh, maybe it's something to do with office stuff. But then my like rational brain is like, no. You are currently dating a cowboy, Josie. So I see Carl, young Carl, standing with like horses and a big Texas hat. And I don't know why, because he never grew up in Texas, but I'm full on horses. He's there. He's like sorting out this horse. Anyway, and then I go back to reality and I'm like, hang on, what is Staples? So as of like, if we had this interview 24 hours prior to when we chose to have it, I would be sitting here now visualizing. I would have sat here thinking, what the fuck is Staples? I would have been thinking Bella is there in her gorgeous princess goddess outfit, but now with horses and it's all happening and I wouldn't understand it. But now I know.
Yeah,
So again, universe is amazing and always tells you exactly what you need when you need to hear it, even in the smallest coincidences such as Staples and the pushing the button.
That was easy. I don't know if they're still alive, Staples, but essentially they were, I think they sold a lot of these buttons. They were like these impulse buttons.
I want one! Can we make it that was easy Staples buttons?
Staples, if you ever watch this, can you please send me one? I would really appreciate it. I'll use it in one of my comedy bits.
Oh my god, but I'm sitting here going like, everyone needs to have a Staples button. Like, that was easy. That is, oh, you know what I have? I have my shamanic drum. So we're just gonna like use this for the time being. I really hope Snowball is gonna be okay. Snowball, please be. Oh, Snowball is very excited now. Okay, so basically, hang on. Yeah, you can do a little paw thing on it as well. That's it.
Are we sniffing?
We're sniffing. So basically, when in life, the universe is like basically delivering you, and now I'm like pointing it at you, delivering Bella or yourself to a point where you need to be, when you need to be there, which essentially is always, because that is what I really believe the universe always does. As much as we're making this fun right now, this is a super serious thing. Like, if you start to live your life in that way where you just know that you will be where you need to be when you need to be there, everything is easy. Like that button. So that was easy.
She didn't mind it as much.
No, I know. Like, I think Snowball was just like, yeah, got you. So, that in mind. Okay, so you're there. You've been like Facebooking Mr. Sam Rhodes.
Sam Rhodes.
And
really
he's
funny
like,
name.
sure.
And his wife is even funnier.
Okay, got you.
There was like that PR move for you.
That's why they're happily married. Hee hee.
Happily, to my knowledge.
Well, there we go.
And essentially I just asked, is it 5 or 7 minutes? And he goes, it's 10 minutes. Yeah, so essentially I wrote my set the night before, not really knowing what I was doing. I'm getting some laughs here and there, but now I can do a laugh maybe every 20 seconds. That's kind of my goal.
Amazing. But I want to take you back in time a little bit because that's all beautiful. But I think what's really juicy is the fact that...
Juicy or Josie? Juicy Josie.
Oh, Juicy Josie! Because the Juicy Josie want to take Bella back a little while, because I think what's really interesting and what always excites me, Bella, is this idea that, so, you know, if you enter this kind of thing of going, okay, I really do believe that there is a power, and whether you want to call it the universe or God or source or your own soul or your higher self in psychology, there is something pulling you towards that which is for you, right?
Yes.
And we both believe in that, and I know that if you're watching this, you or listening to this, you also believe in this, because guess what? You drew us into your experience. We're gonna say it. That was easy.
That was easy.
Right. So with that in mind, because we're human beings and we have free will, and because the rational brain is so fucking strong, it's so often that we kind of find ourselves walking around in circles a little bit, right? Because we're like, no, that can't be it. Like, stand up, is that really for me, right? Or, you know, like you were studying law, even though like little pockets kept coming at you going, hey, you're really funny. And you're like, yeah. And like when you had your little heartbreak or the big heartbreak, and your friend A is like, oh my God, you're hilarious. And you're like, that is not really the reaction I was hoping for. Can we go a little softer? And it's like, I'll walk out, I'll come back in, I'll give you the food. You're going to give me a nice hug, and then I'm ready for I can be hilarious later. Can I just be sad now? And like, but you know, and then that whole thing with the, you know, your friend coming over, and she was living close to, you know, she was staying close to London Bridge, and then you were on the bus and you walk past, and all of a sudden you're in that stand-up comedy thing, and the date with the moist hand, and but then again the flyer, the breakup
that happened on that day. Because if the breakup didn't happen on that day, I wouldn't have re-downloaded the app to match with him in that proximity.
And let's pause here for a moment, because this is juicy. The juicy spot is quite often it is not because as human beings, as much as we should, it would be great if we loved change, but we don't. We resist, right? It's always like, ooh, but change is new and it's unknown and it's dark. So most of the time we're like, let's not go there. But if we find ourselves in a space of surrender, and surrender usually only happens, surrender meaning our rational brain has a moment to kind of go, oh, this is too heavy. You can be in charge, right? And when the rational brain does that, it's normally only when we are so pushed in a corner, like a breakup, or something in our life has like pushed us into a corner. Somehow we're in a spot where we finally a bit more vulnerable, and we're a bit more open to change, because where we're currently at is so fucking shitty that something needs to change. So we are willing to give something else a go. We are willing to lose it all. Ha 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 ha. That was easy. Now I want to do this again. There we go. So, okay. So basically, you finally get your, sorry, that sounds weird. I was about to say, you finally get your act together. I didn't mean to say it like that. All I'm saying is, you came to a point in your life where you're like, okay, I am gonna at least just send, like, there's too many moments of serendipities. Probably also.
That's my favorite word.
Me too, yay! There's also too much pain, perhaps, at some point, to be like, let's try something different, right? And so something within you prompted you to finally send that Facebook, like walk in there in the first place, and then number two, get Sam's contact, and then send that message on Facebook, and then he gets back to you, and he's like, sure. Now, what happens between, like, how did it feel? You received the message that said sure. And then from that moment and the hours or days, I don't know how long it went, between the sure Bella, you can come and perform, and then to you actually being on stage, what was the experience for you during that time?
I just remember being really excited because this is something I wanted to do for so long. Even my professors at school used to tell me, they used professors as, university, would tell me they would always know which paper was mine, even though it's anonymous grading, because they would be laughing. And I'm here thinking, like, this is about death. I'm sorry, you almost did a spit take.
You're like, at no point is this funny.
Although I did think I opened one of my law papers with, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
I love that. Yeah.
Bear in mind, I think I was referencing a Baroque law, and I thought that was just amazing wordplay.
Oh, I love wordplay. It's the best.
Or
I get very excited about it.
I included the word kerfuffle once, and apparently that was a hoot.
Oh my god, I now need to encyclopedia this afterwards, because I don't actually know what it means, but I will have a look at it later. So anyway, you were saying this is something you've been wanting to do for so long, and yet you hadn't done it until this moment, right?
Yeah.
So, which is so common for all of us, right? This is not a judgment against anyone. It's just saying this is a super common thing, and hence why I'm loving the story, and hence why I want to juice it out as much as I possibly can with my juiciness. So anyway, he says yes. You start putting something together. You said you wrote your set the night before your first performance.
Yes.
And how did that feel? Writing that, knowing you were going to be on stage the next day, like, talk us through that a little bit.
So I'm not sure. Oh, actually, you guys probably all believe in birth chart placements.
Of course.
So what's important to know about me is that I have an Aries stellium, which means I have that gotta go energy in the 9th house. So that's like very powerful. But I also have particularly strong Virgo placements. So my emotions, my Mars are in Virgo 2nd house, but my North Node is in 3rd house Virgo, when it kind of dips into the next one. So essentially, I actually felt really hard on myself. It was like, I know that I'm a funny person, but how do I translate this?
I'm serious about my funniness. I take my funniness very seriously. I'm responsible for being a funny person. There's no funny business. Okay, no, I'm with you. I just also think it's really hilarious.
Yeah, so essentially, my Aries is in Mercury, if that was not obvious. But just like, oh my god, I got really in my head about it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, something a guy that I'm currently seeing said, you're effortlessly funny. Like, you don't have...
You don't even have to try. And you're like, I did 27 years of being me. I did like all the rehearsal. Yeah.
Which, by the way, fellas, if there's any men out here, when it comes to compliments, I discovered that the best compliments are not the ones that women hear often. I feel like many men look at me and they automatically jump to my beauty. It was not every day that someone jumps to my intellectual... My intellect is often referenced, but it's not always my humor that's specifically referenced. And he called me a young Sarah Silverman, so I was just like, okay.
I'll keep you for a bit.
I'll keep you for a bit.
You've just passed to round number 2. That was a handshake. That was easy.
That was easy.
Okay. The snowball was like, yay! 5 rounds, whoop, 2 pours. Okay, wow, okay, so you got in your head. Now, how did you get out of your head?
I did not get out of my head.
Oh shit, okay, so talk us through that. Because this is exciting, because this is real life, and that is what I really want to come across. That whole thing of like, we all have shitloads of self-doubt. We all have like things that lights us up like crazy. We all have things that keeps us, I was gonna say keeps us alive, but yeah, it keeps us alive. Keeps us awake at night with excitement, with joy, with dreams, with longing, with hope, also with despair, all of it. So we have all of these emotions, and so whoever you see, whoever you look up to, anyone where you're like, I want to be like them, or this is someone who looks like they have life sorted out, they might be, that person might, yes, be doing something to fulfill their dreams, which is beautiful, but that does not mean they don't have all the doubts and all the getting in the head and all of the fears and the doubts and all the rest of it. So that's the part I'm super interested in. And not that you have to like talk about it for 5 hours, but just like feel free to like tell us about that. So you were in your head, and then I was like, when did you get out of your head? And you said, I didn't. And so, okay, that could be a bit of a tricky, challenging situation when you're about to go on stage. So what did you do? Yeah, that's it.
The Virgos.
You blamed it on the Virgo.
I'm sorry, Virgos get a lot of heat.
Yeah.
They want to be perfect.
Oh, I know. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. What an accurate statement.
Yeah.
So essentially, do you ever feel like you can be studying something for years, but then someone asks you a simple question and then you just forget?
Totally.
That what it was like when I was writing that first set. And then I remembered thinking, I'm just going to read it off my phone.
Yeah.
Which in stand-up comedy is not frowned upon, but it's less organic because something I've learned now that I'm more seasoned.
Yeah.
I'm salt, I'm peppered.
Yeah. Totally. Next year she'll be Chinese fat spice.
Star anise.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm a star.
Oh yeah.
Where was I?
What now that you're more so it was like a lot of stand-up people use their phone to read off. It's not frowned upon. However, now that you're more seasoned entertainer, stand-up comedy.
I remember reading it off my phone. It was like my security belt.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remembered I was reading off this paper, but I was reading it more like the academic I was trained to be in. So a little bit more subcontext about me. I have a law degree from King's, an LLB, not a master's.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my philosophy and ancient near Egyptology degree from UCLA.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh my god, I just said the wolf thing again. I've got to stop this thing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I feel like it deserves two things. Now, I don't want to stop you in your flow. Are you ready? Snowball? Here we go. That was easy. That was easy. Definitely wasn't easy, but still good.
That was easy. Yeah. She knows what she's doing. What are you up to? Are you want to go with Josie?
Yeah, come on over here. Come on, Snowball.
Oh, are we not? What do we want to do?
It's alright. Yeah, she can do her thing. Tell us more about your story.
So essentially, I got really in my head, and I just remember rehearsing. I printed it out at first, and I was just reading off of it. I FaceTimed my mom. I run a business. I canceled my meetings that day for a hobby.
Yeah, got you.
And I just said, I'm really nervous about tonight. I'm gonna have to cancel. Can we reschedule? And they were like, fine. And which, by the way, I was really honest about why I was canceling. So kudos to me.
Yeah, well done.
And
you're a human being, not just a business. Got you.
Very true.
Yeah.
And essentially, I remembered calling my mom and having her listen. And my mom kind of knows my humor very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to a point where she was just like fake laughing. And again, as that one gentleman caller said, I'm effortlessly funny. But the effortlessly funny wasn't appearing because at that point I hadn't really found my voice yet.
Yeah, I mean, no joke. This was your first time,
Mm-hmm.
like ever, like, you know, professionally standing on a stage, not just accidentally with a heartache in front of a friend. You know what I mean?
I forgot a micro story. In 2016, I was part of this one of these school clubs. This was when I was in university. And they're like, oh, we're gonna go play pool. And some of them were Muslim, so it wasn't like a drinking bar.
Yeah.
So it was like some type of late night thing.
Yeah.
And what happens that evening? Stand-up comedy. And they all said, Bella, you're so funny. You should get up there. So I did my first 5-minute set. So somewhere on someone's phone is my first 5-minute set of stand-up comedy.
Your virgin stand-up?
My virgin stand-up. It was like, I'm not sure if anyone here has watched How I Met Your Mother, but it to quote how perhaps Lily first lost her virginity, he was in the lobby, he didn't go up the building.
Ooh, okay, got you.
That's probably how I would best describe it. But anyways, and I'm now on stage, I'm reading off my phone, and something happens to me when I'm on stage that I find to be particularly interesting, when I know I'm about to say something that's going to make you in my chokehold.
Yes.
I can almost like feel like a warmth on this side of my body.
So that's the right-hand side of Bella, yeah. That's your masculine side, you know that?
Really? Wow.
Divine sacred masculine right-hand side, yeah. But it's also when you're in your fire, so you're in your power. Yeah, got you.
So I feel like this kind of warmth, and I would sometimes deviate from that, and that's when I was getting bigger laughs from the audience than what I had previously pre-written. Because again, I feel this is funny.
Totally.
I'm never gonna let that go. I don't care what happens to that guy.
Oh my god, listen, you got the gift, like the forever gift, so that was all good. That was worth it, even if it was just a week or a month or whatever. That was worth it.
That was only a first date.
Ooh.
But this is about me, not him.
It is. Back to you.
And essentially, it was because it was raining, not many people showed up. So I think maybe I performed in front of 3 people.
Perfect, great. But also like scary, because so I've been on stage a lot in my life, never always done it, but anyway. And I've always found a smaller audience is so much, not just harder, but it's so much more scary because you can really see each individual. But the more people are there, the more they kind of just morph into one big beingness. And I'm like, yes, this is nice, and I feel safe. If there's only 2 or 3, I'm like, oh, now I can study every single expression, and you are a reflection of what I'm feeling about me, because we see what we feel. So anyway, you end up doing your first kind of, well, apart from the 2016 thing, your first ever show.
That was a dark year for Americans.
2022 was it?
2022 I graduated. 2024 I re-meet this friend that I hadn't seen in roughly 5 years.
So hang on, your stand-up thing is literally this year?
Yeah, I literally started this year.
What? Because I watched a little video of Bella doing stand-up, and I thought you were absolutely amazing. I had no idea that this was it. This was this year. I met you in your premiere year. That's amazing.
Oui.
Mais oui. Oui. Wow. Okay, so you're up there. There's 3 people in the audience. What happens? As in, what happens for Bella? Because I'm sure that they're loving you, but what happens inside of you? What's going on within you?
Essentially, I was just using the... You know how sometimes when I say presidents, anyone can kind of read a speech from a teleprompter?
Yeah.
My first time I felt a bit cold, but I'm getting the laughs more when I'm deviating.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about my experiences, but I'm too in an academic mode.
Yeah,
I'm not in my 1-2 punch mode.
Yeah.
I like how my hair kind of went in my face.
I know, that was like wild, yeah.
And essentially, what was I in my thoughts? But overall my friends thought I did pretty well for my first time, and that was the current feedback. And it was interesting because when I was sharing this with friends and friends were sharing it with other people, they were saying like, wow, this feels like the type of thing where you're gonna see it in maybe like 5 years and be like, that was her first time.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
I was like, oh, that's such a sweet moment.
Yeah.
But I will say, I feel like I'm only now getting out of I call it reading the transcript.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Out of my body and head, and actually being stage present and actually really connecting with the audience. Because that's essentially what a comedian does.
100%.
Their audience is their ability to be relatable to someone and to essentially find the funny in the mundane. Yeah,
exactly. I love that.
And I remember going up to Mr. Sam Rhodes after, funny comedian.
Yeah, he's getting so much PR.
He's such a good
But he's a good guy, right?
Good people.
I love that.
Deserve.
Sam was the man.
Sam's the man.
Yeah.
I don't like the term he's a nice guy. It's all given me the ick. How about like teddy bear energy?
Yeah, got it, yeah.
Man's got teddy bear energy.
Yeah,
and I think that needs to be more appreciated.
Oh my god, so like one of my favorite animals is a bear. So I am like, I get it, yes. I'm all over the bear thing. Bear is great. Okay, so you do your first one, and obviously it's a success. So they ask you back again, you ask if you can come back, or what happens?
Essentially, we all kind of go up for a drink after, and I go up to Mr. Sam Rhodes, and I say, can I go again? And he goes, sure, but one thing, can you not bring your phone?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yay! Next time it'll be all Bella. Solo Bella.
Okay. And I remember the second time that I did it, I thought I was, again, I was still very brand new to all this. So I thought I had to write a new set every time I performed.
Ooh, yes.
Which is not necessarily the case. Comedians will sometimes spend like years honing those first 10 minutes.
Yes.
And essentially I wrote a brand new 10-minute set. And the thing is, this was my second time. I'm like, there's lights staring at you, there's people. And there was this one particular guy who was essentially, I can only describe it as like staging a coup, which sounds really dramatic, but he was staging a coup.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And essentially I felt like I couldn't really get on with what I was saying. And it came to the point where I said, you guys, this is like my second time. Can we please just like keep it down?
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm like, kind of visibly shaky. And then he just kept on ignoring me. And then I thought, I have a stage to command.
Yeah.
The warmth came back on the side.
The power returned.
The power returned.
Yeah.
So essentially, I suggested another use for his tongue if he was going to keep interrupting me. And it shut him down. I was able to interact better, and I was told I got the biggest laughs of the night.
I mean, I'm laughing. I mean, that's brilliant. I really love that.
I was very polite about it.
Amazing, Bella.
Which apparently is my takeaway. I could be near death or having a heartbreak, but I'll remember to pay the bill and bring you food.
I mean, and you know, I don't know where this Britishness comes from, right? So I call it the British politeness bullshit. So, yeah, did you hear the bullshit part? So, no, obviously not trying to offend you, hon. It's just like, I've always in my own life, I'm a very straightforward person, and I've always been like, the most straightforward and transparent and clear you are with me, the better response you'll get. If you just kind of like, you never really you never really tell me how you're actually feeling or something like that. I'm like, I don't know how I can support you or be there for you. And if you're just bullshitting, don't be polite just to bullshit. Be polite if you're half dying and you're thinking, best to go out having no debt.
I was genuinely thinking that.
Oh, I know, you were like, if this is it, because again, you know, I don't want to tell anyone too much about your story, but like, you know, we can definitely peacefully say that it was a matter of life or death. And Bella very much, you know, politely thought, well, can't leave Josie in the ditch, you know. So if this is it, if I'm going down, if this is it, I'm going down with absolutely no debt. I've cleared my name. I think you have a like really beautiful karma. You leave a trail. You leave nothing but a trail of love behind. So absolutely beautiful, Bella. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, but I just wanted to, because I know there's so much Bella-ness and there's so many stories, and it's so wonderful, like, you know, to get to know you more, and like on a personal level, I'm super excited to have you like as my neighbor, basically. But also in terms of
us as
I know. Oh yeah, Snowball is like,
This is
hey,
Snowball, by the
there's
way.
me too. There's me too. Oh, with a little foot in the sky. But I think, Bella, just in terms of any piece of, like, you've already given us lots of nuggets and lot to think about, but I think any piece of advice, any message that you would like to share with people who's listening or watching here today, if people are sitting there going, well, I'm also in law school currently, or it might be, because remember, everything is kind of symbolic in life, so it doesn't have to be that you're in law school. It could also be that maybe you're in a place in your life where you know there's something else. You know there's something else that's pulling you. You know that there is a part of you that is longing and yearning to be seen, to be expressed, to somehow be acknowledged. That doesn't mean that, like, if there's a part of you, I know one of my clients, my lovely friend and client, I know that, you know, we recently discovered in one of my retreats in Slovenia, we recently discovered that she has a massive voice, literally. So, little petite woman, turns out she can seriously sing. Now, I'm not saying you're sitting here and in order for you to be heard and express that part of you, you now have to become like an opera singer or like sing on stage in several places around the world, otherwise you haven't made it. But whatever is in your heart, if something is pulling, if something is gravitating, something is trying to be emerge through you, I think listening to Bella's story is super inspirational. And again, I know I'm like putting the words in your mouth and I will let you speak in a moment, but it's just so important to understand that Bella's story is so beautiful, so inspirational, but also so relatable, because we can all find ourselves in those moments in life, right? Where there's your relationship, whether it's your relationship with yourself. How do you treat yourself? What are your limiting belief systems? I can do this, I can't do that. I can be that person, I can't be that person. I can own and have this, I can look like this, whatever it is. Maybe it's your profession, maybe it's your relationship with money, maybe it's your relationship with your health, whatever it is. We all are so run and / ruined by our limited or uplifting, empowering belief systems. So with that in mind, Bella, I ask you again, as if we're getting married here. I ask thee, Bella and Snowball, what message, you know, looking back at your own life, and I know that you guys are so young, you know, 27, right?
27 and 6 months.
Right, super young, gorgeous couple here. What message would you like to share with listeners and viewers today?
I think when you are growing and developing, you're going to find your own voice. And I hope everyone just feels brave enough to share it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think that's beautiful. Finding your own voice and feel brave enough to share it. And if I can add anything, and believe that what you are looking for is also looking for you. You can't miss it. It will always come true. So in that sense, remembering Bella's story of how like the universe kept knocking with like little signs and big signs until she literally found herself on the apparently wrong bus
The doorstop.
at the doorstep of that pub that was saying stand up. Ha ha ha. So stand up, speak up, act up. Have an amazing day, and thank you so much, Bella.
Thank
Thank you so much, Snowball. Oh, I feel like we need to like finish with the that was easy. Are you ready?
Wait.
That was easy. Amazing.
Can we do it again?
Let's do it again, okay.
Oh, kisses.
Yay.
Thank you. Ready?
That was easy. Amazing. That was so much fun. Let's
Thank
just
you.
switch this little thing off. Yay.
Oh, should Snowball do a little dance?